All right, everyone. So pretty much after 6 years, is the Jeep Grand Cherokee reliable? Depends what you define as reliable, right? Some people might think, hey, his engine transmission works, it's fine, then it's reliable. But some people will think that other things are not working, meaning things around the engine, then it's also not reliable. So in my opinion, as long as the engine works and transmission works, I believe it's a reliable car. I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. There are some issues that are a common thing known, not necessarily for Jeep, but FCA or Fiat Chrysler Association, which would be Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, right? So one of the things that I feel that makes this car reliable is because it runs. It has a great transmission, the same transmission. It's an 8-speed transmission, the ZHF transmission, I believe, which is also used in X5s and some other European cars as well. As far as the car running, how it runs, how it works, I feel that it runs great. For example, the transmission shifting, as long as it's in eco mode, I would say now 6 years later, eco mode, it just shifts smoother, helps technically a very minuscule amount with miles per gallon, but overall it's pretty good. Engine running, the gas consumption is all right. You know, it has a 25-gallon tank, so well, it's a big tank, but I mean, it's good. I get on average about anywhere 15 to 18 miles per gallon realistic driving. I don't drive like a maniac, I just drive normal. If I drive a lot of highway, I'll probably get closer to 19 to 20. If it's a long trip, meaning like I'm going on a road trip to Vegas from LA or to San Diego, I'll get about 22, maybe 24 miles per gallon, but it just depends on the drive, I guess. Now, as far as looks goes, how the paint is held up well, considering it's 6 years. This is a 2014 model. It's now March 2021 now that I'm recording this. The only thing that's been done to this car, which you can see a little bit right here, I don't know if the camera can catch it with the glare, but there's some like residue from buff and wax. That's the only thing I've done to it. And I also put like an acrylic spray on there after I wash it, so it helps protect it. I do that maybe once a month as far as the acrylic spray. The acrylic spray, it's like a $20 spray, so it's a cheaper version of it. I know other people have gotten the $100 versions of them, and you only do those once or twice a year. I don't have that. And as far as wear and tear on the brakes, I think it's normal. About every 3 to 4 years, you need to change them out. The only thing I've done to the car as far as modification goes would really be just the 5% tint and the 20s that I got aftermarket. These are not the ones that came with it. This is the Laredo model, so I got just the stock 17s. I ended up buying these rims from OfferUp, so I got them for about 300 bucks. I know that sounds unrealistic, but if you look for a few months, that's what I got. The tires were bald. The guy ended up selling them to me for 300, and then I just typed in the code or the tire size, which is 265 50 20 on OfferUp and Craigslist, and I ended up finding some guy selling them for like I think 80 bucks each tire. Found a shop. I told the shop I'll give you 30 bucks for each tire, which I only needed 2, and I ended up getting these Pirellis, which he ended up giving them to me for 35 each, which I got 2 of them for the front, and the tire fit is actually pretty good. Camera, but anyways, overall though, it's been pretty good. Let's see what else. So yeah, I mean, as far as driving goes, it's been pretty well. One more modification I did was I installed this camera myself. There's a kit that they sell. It's called, I think, I have it on one of the videos. I'll put it in the comment section that I installed myself, and it uses the stock radio or the stock factory screen, so it looks factory. And this had a little chip on there, a crack. I ended up taking the whole light off, and I ended up getting some, I forgot what it's called, but like some residue polymer thingy. I don't know the name, forgive me for forgetting, but I got it at Pep Boys. It costed me, I think it was like 18 bucks or 20 bucks. And I just put this on the side, filled it up little by little, let it dry out so the crack would seal, and I've been good ever since. Had no issues. Let me see. Another common thing I'd say it's an issue for this car would be the well, I want to say a common issue, but my buddy works at Chrysler. He's actually an automotive technician there, and the only reason I bought this car was because you can fix them for dirt cheap. So one of the common things that's a problem, and I'll say or a problem or an issue with these SUVs, which this will fall along the lines for the Durango and the Wrangler, and I guess some of the other smaller crossovers kind of, but mainly these SUVs. So the main problem that he was telling me that's a very common issue that they fix all the time is the motor mounts. The motor mounts give out all the time, sometimes every 2 years, sometimes every 4 years, just depends how you drive it. So I did have to change those out for this one. The part itself is not that expensive. I think it's like $200 or $300 for both motor mounts. It could be less, but I think it's around $200. The dealership will probably charge it around anywhere from $500 to $1,000 to do it. So he does that for me on the side, and then and he told me this is a very common issue. This is like one of their things they do on a regular at the dealership is changing the motor mounts. So I mean, I guess if you want to check if this is the issue you're having in your car, I would say if you are at a dead stop and you kind of floor it, not necessarily to the floor, but like, you know, you kind of take off a little, you'll feel a little like jolt back in the front. That's usually a motor mount. And then another issue is the thermostat. Oh my God, I've changed the thermostat on pretty much every Chrysler vehicle I've had every 2 or 3 years, which is, it sounds bad, but in my opinion, the dealership will charge you $380 to like $500 with the part included to do it for you. But honestly, you could do it on the 3.6 liter V6. This one, the 300, the Charger, they're all up top, so it's super easy to do. It costs me $60 every time I do it. I do it every 2 or 3 years. $60 is not a big deal to me, so I think that's fine. But like I said, it depends how you see it. The one major, I would say it's not major, but it can look like a major issue for this car, is the oil cooler. So the oil cooler is located at the top of the engine, and I'll show a clip of what happened to mine on here. But pretty much when the oil cooler breaks up, or if the seals inside the oil cooler breaks, the coolant and the oil mixes together. That can be a horrible thing that happens to you if it gets into the actual engine. Luckily for me, the pressure of the oil is higher than the coolant, so all the oil went into the actual coolant reservoir and the radiator. So luckily for me, as soon as I saw the car get hot on the dash, I immediately turned it off. I drained it, filled it up with distilled water, just trying to make it to my buddy's shop to fix it. Sure enough, he told me that this can be like a 50-50 chance, meaning that if I drove it hot, I messed up the whole engine. But if I literally caught onto it, or if I saw it and I caught it within time and I turned it off the car and I did everything I did, he said I would be fine. Luckily for me, I did do that. I had this issue a long time ago with a 300, maybe like 8 years ago, so I already know how bad it can be. So as soon as I saw it go up above the normal, just quarter above the gauge, I immediately turned the car off, drained it, put some water, just trying to get there. I had to pull over maybe 3 or 4 times within the hour just to keep refilling it, but it was enough just to make it there. So the oil cooler is about $280, I believe, $300 for the part itself. Them doing the job can be pretty expensive because they have to remove the intake manifold and the whole top part of the engine. I think the flaw with that is that plastic, it just can break easy. So even if you go to a shop and let's say the technician doesn't know how to tighten it or whatever, it can break easily and it just messes it up. But yeah, so it can look like a horrible catastrophe when that happens to you, but honestly it's really not. If you know how to do the work on your own, you're fine. It's gonna be a $300 job for you. If you take it to the dealership, they're gonna charge you probably $1,000, $800 to $1,000. At least the prices that I've gotten quoted here in Los Angeles. But yeah, man, overall, it's been a great car. Now, to be fair, I am not the original owner of this car because I had the charger, if you guys seen in other videos, and that charger was extremely reliable. The two things I changed on that one was a thermostat and the oil pressure sensor, which is, like I said, it's the same exact engine as this one, the 3.6 liter Pentastar V6, and it had the same exact transmission too. So those are the only two things I changed on that car. It did need motor mounts towards the end, but it wasn't as bad. I'm assuming because it's lower to the ground and the way I drove it was mainly like for work. This one is heavier, so it might be a little bit more tougher on the motor mounts, but other than that, I think it's a great car. The interior, it's held up, I guess, fairly decent. Let's see if I can show you. Sorry, just real quick, it's a mess. I always put these on just because, you know, help save it. But overall, it's been good. Nothing's been ripping. It's been all right. I have WeatherTech mats in the front and the rear. WeatherTech, see, helps. The doors are okay. This is the one thing I changed. I take that back. This thing, for some reason, well, it didn't break. Well, it worked fine, but this part broke. So I got an eBay version of it. And it's been working fine. Just sometimes if it doesn't work, I have to like disconnect it and connect it while the car's off, and it'll work right away. I know that's kind of annoying, but I don't want to spend $300 for this stupid part. And then as far as miles, I'm at 89,000 miles. The only part of this interior that sucks is the center by the shifter. This little stuff, I don't know if you can catch it on camera. This is peeling. That sucks. And then there's also a crack right there. Right there. And the chrome peels too, so I don't know what it is with that, but it's like super cheap material. Sorry for the ambulance guys, but there's no way I can record. But yeah, the chrome peeling, that sucks too. But everything else has been alright. Nothing's been fading as far as button goes. The other part on the top of the steering wheel right here, it did end up, I can't see it, let me see. Right there, it's peeling, so I just put a cover and it's been fine ever since. And yeah, if you're in the Midwest like Colorado or anywhere it snows, I recommend the WeatherTech mats. I'm not in Colorado, but I do drive there often. And it's been great. And this is a non 4x4 model too, so like I said, pretty reliable car. If you guys want me to make any videos specifically to this car or any questions, concerns, please let me know. Hopefully this helped you out in any way to make the decision if you're thinking about getting this car. Is it a good car? Yes, it is. If you're gonna buy it used like myself, I almost derailed from what I was trying to say earlier. I got the charger. I got this car because I had back surgery, 2 back surgeries, and the charger was too low and it was hurting my back. So this one was perfect height with, I just need to get in. I don't have to squat or bend down or bend up, just get in. That's the main reason I got this car. But yeah, man, it's been pretty good, and that's the reason I got it. So in all fairness, this is used, but being considered it's been used and it's been 6 years and I'm still driving it smoothly, it's great. It's great. When I did purchase it, like I said, the motor mounts were like not working. They were bad, so that kind of made the ride feel really bad. But once I got that fixed, it felt like a brand new car, to be honest with you. So like I said, if you have any questions, please let me know. If you guys like this video, please hit the like button. It does help me out. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you for watching. Peace.